Oh,
And I'm back, yeah? Okay, so we are live. Right, okay, so I was having a little bit of a conversation with Reality Check. How's it going, man?
hello, hello. What's up? What's up?
And we were just talking. We were just talking on Steam, just having a, asking about questions about Oculus and Vive, what's all that sort of business. And then we're just like, let's just record this shit, man. And then we started.
I mean, it's an important topic, so.
Definitely, man. How you doing, though? You cool?
Oh, yeah, I'm ready to go, except, like we talked about earlier, I guess I am going to have to jump on this with you. All right.
Good stuff, man. And this is great. I mean, I can't believe that you're sitting all the other side of the world, and we're just talking like this, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, for once not in the Oculus, but that's okay. It's the real world is still good to be in. Yeah, man. I think this stuff is important too because it hits us in different levels. I mean, like you said, we're in different places, but virtual reality is something that brings us together no matter where we are. So it's a good topic.
Definitely, man. And one of the things that came up earlier, it was literally, I'm going to have a quick look at my phone to actually look at the discussion, actually. It was about your cable, wasn't it? You were saying how you had bad luck with your cable, and then Oculus gave you a goodwill gesture and actually, got you a new cable. So you're back online, you're able to promote virtual reality for them. So I think had it been any ordinary fellow, they might not have been as lucky as you. And that's kind of like where we were on the conversation.
I definitely I had a problem with the HDMI cable not working and not responding, and yeah, getting that back was needed. But I think having to make videos of Oculus every single day helps them make the decision on who they might want to help out more quickly than others, especially when their stock is apparently so low right now.
Yeah, of course, because you're promoting VR with your channel, so it's mutually beneficial. Obviously you get a working headset, but they get promotion for the Rift as well, and just people get more people hyped by watching new content. So and then that led us on to the next one as what do you think you're going to buy first, or what do you think you're going to buy? Realistically, I only think I can really justify having one HMD, one headset. If I come home with two, trying to explain that to the missus, they look exactly the same, and they're both the sort of same thing. It's just going to be a nightmare. So for me, it might just be whichever one drops first, man. And I don't know. That's a tough thing to say because I want the best product, but I don't know. What do you reckon you're going to do?
Well, as you said, I mean, you were kind of saying whatever drops first, and they say the HTC is supposed to be the first one, and that means you're probably going to go with that one. And it's got the built-in holodeck, so the experience of being able to stand up, walk around, I'm addicted to that just thought right now. I don't know about you, but it really depends on, obviously, price, too. I mean, it depends if they both want to be $400 or $500. Yeah, good luck on trying to get me to buy both of them. I don't have the money.
Yeah.
But if they could both be, down to the $300 range even, I would be more likely to, possibly be able to get that. Because, I mean, shoot, two $300 devices, that's $600. Shoot, I could buy a $500 device and accessories right there is $600. So I'd rather have two as opposed to just one mega system.
It is a problem, but I think for me as well, it's one of the good things about it is if you went out and bought a Vive day one, you know that the games that are going to be developed for it are gonna include the hand controllers, because they ship with the product. So most of the games that are going to be made for it, apart from say flight simulators, racing simulators, you're going to be utilizing your hands and actually interacting. And then you've got the Oculus Touch, but that's not dropping at launch. So a lot of the developers,
Right.
it's not everyone is going to have a Touch. Do you know what I mean? Not everyone's going to have a Touch. And is that going to impact the kind of games that are going to be available? I don't know. I really don't know.
And that's just it too. I mean, even though they're not going to be available at launch, I mean, when you look at the Touch, it's something that goes in the hands. It's something the controller, the player is supposed to feel immersed because it's supposed to be a part of your hands. You're supposed to get used to picking things up and holding them kind of in there. Whereas these Vive controllers, if you look at them, Oculus Vive, they are just clearly a whole different thing. It looks like you're holding two batons in your hands in a sense. And I mean, I'm not saying it's going to be worse by any means, but it's certainly not the same thing. And like I've got the Razer Hydra. Yeah, you've got the Razer Hydra too, and I mean the Vive reminds me of holding kind of these things right here, and clearly this is not a bad thing. I don't know about you, but when you're sitting there running around VR chat, or when we're doing the kind of different games that actually have Razer support, those games are incredibly fun, incredibly immersive, and to be able to outstretch
Amazing.
your hand and feel the actual, arm and your VR body go out there with you, it's not only, cool, but it's somewhat otherworldly to be able to
It's
feel that
fantastic
presence.
to look down and
Yeah,
your actual virtual arms are moving. But that's one
right.
of the problems with the Razer Hydra, the fact that it was so under supported. It was revolutionary for the time. It was out before virtual reality, but it was under supported and probably out before its time, unfortunately.
Right.
But yeah, so for me, Vive or Revive Valve, however you want to call it, like their stuff, the developers are going to be working with that for day one. Everyone that owns the headset is going to own two of these ones,
Right.
and
Yeah, and
it,
that's, as you said, from a developer standpoint, that's key. I mean, right away, everybody that has this headset has this ability, so you can develop it with, with all your ability, and everybody's going to be able to play your game with full functioning. And what I've got that leap motion on there, and of course, I wanted to make a game with leap
yeah,
motion support.
that's it.
To me, I thought it was huge. Everybody needs to be able to put their hands up in front of them and see that instant reaction. And although I still think that's key, clearly you don't get nearly the support for the games that have those kind of accessories that are third party or that come later because they're not part of the original bundle. And I can't really imagine what it would be like, but I do think it's going to come down to what feels more natural. I mean, if you're sitting there holding the Vive, or you're in the Vive and you're holding those controllers and you move them, how natural does that feel with the characters as opposed to holding the Oculus Touch? And that's going
Yeah,
to be the tracking. How well do they do the tracking? How well is the infrared as opposed to some of the magnetics that they use in other controllers? But I know that they're both Oculus and HTC are both using infrared technology in these. Difference with the HTC is they've got the different sensors in the different parts of your room, which could be good, could be
yeah,
bad.
yeah.
I kind of think it's cool.
I think it's cool, and I think
I
that
think it's
that's
cool too.
that's going to work for me. I've got quite a small area to work with. I've not got a 15 by 15 area, but what I have got on order is Virtuix Omni. So
Oh, that's right. That's you, lucky dog, you.
So that's going to be that, because the camera, the positional lighthouse tech is going to be positioned in the corners. It's always going to be able to
Right.
pick me up, and I'm pretty much not going to be confined to the 15 by 15. I've got infinite space because I'm walking on effectively an omnidirectional treadmill, really. So that's going to be amazing, and any open world games that support either touch or the Vive ones, man, that's going to be next level, and I can't wait for that.
Right. You said you're getting the Virtuix Omni, is that right?
Yeah, I am order number exactly 1,700,
1,700.
and they're expecting to be shipping in August, so not even that long. I've paid for the actual unit, but I still need to pay postage, so it's going to be a big fucking cost in postage, unfortunately.
Oh
But
wow.
you know,
Yeah. I say, do you have any idea how heavy those are supposed to be? Just.
yeah, I think it's like over 50 kgs, man. So I can't I can't put an exact figure on it. In fact, I might even have to check it out. But I did look at it, and I had a look. It's going to cost me over £100 in postage, easy, probably 150, 160 Great British pounds.
And just for the folks here at home, we know that about 50 kg is actually about 110 pounds here in America.
Yeah, different metrics,
I don't
imperial
know.
and all that.
We're Americans. We're behind and backwards on everything. Okay, it's 12 feet. For some reason, we do things in 12s. All right, we don't like the 10s. It's too easy. Sorry.
We use feet as well, to be honest.
Got the train coming by, so yep, chugga chugga. Everybody enjoy the train. I might get to skip through this part.
Nah, keep it in, keep it in.
Yeah, see, sometimes you say that, but it always ends up in there. So.
Yeah. Another thing that I was going to say as well, and this, I don't know if you ever played Final Fantasy VII. This might be irrelevant if you didn't.
Oh,
Did you ever?
I think the best memories, the weirdest memories,
Yeah.
and some of the coolest feelings are from those old games, especially games like Final
Yeah.
Fantasy.
And this is pure speculation. I'm not got anything in concrete. I'm not announcing anything. I don't know anything. But there's going to be a remake.
Oh.
They are remaking it like for PS4 next gen sort of console version. But they didn't. They've not told you anything about it. They've not said anything. But can you imagine if there was an option to play first person and it supported fucking Morpheus?
Oh wow. Yeah, no, I mean, you know how it would look in there too. You can only imagine
Yeah.
2K resolution. I mean, that'd be
Yeah.
people would get lost. People would just they'd get lost. I mean, yeah, that's the kind of game that would really just immerse you. The kind of world that they have already in the art style. Could you imagine?
Yeah,
I mean, we've
yeah.
got, in VR chat, if you've ever seen, I think it's was it Scripto. He has one of the kind of the anime characters that he always puts on, and that thing just looks
Yeah.
really cool in there. And that's looking at the Oculus with the basic 1080p resolution. So it's
Yeah.
not even what it could be. It's not even.
That it might not even happen. That, to be fair, that probably won't happen. But I'm just thinking they probably should make it happen if they're working on the game.
It'll happen at some point. We know.
It would be nice. It would be amazing to have a nice place like that. The sort of sort of anime steampunk sort of vibe world to just explore. Have you heard anything about Cyberpunk 2077? Bang it in. Let's fucking have a quick look on Google, man, and I'll get a couple of pictures up. Cyberpunk 2077. Right, Cyberpunk 2077, and yeah, this game is going to be like a third and first person open world just to explore. It's going to be like proper, like pure cyberpunk, so people with
Wow. Yeah,
like augmented shit going on. But for me, if this game doesn't support like Rift or Vive, man, something's wrong. Do you know what I mean? Especially considering it's got first person view, and even if for some silly reason. Are you looking at the pictures now, yeah?
I'm watching actually the teaser trailer, and it's just beautiful. It's
Yeah.
some of the highest res I've ever seen in some of these shots. I wonder if it actually
Definitely.
translates to the real game.
Maybe. Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows? That would be fantastic. Right, so we've got the
Time.
trailer going on here.
They've got bullet time going. John Gata, come on, he's gonna be all over that.
Yeah. Oh, we've got a bit of machinima going on here. Like thank you very much, machinima, for your trailer.
Right? Oh wow.
I don't know if it's going to show. I think this is an advert. It's not working. Oh well. It's all good. I'm going to pause that and fuck that off, and I might even overlay it separately, editing. But yeah, that even if it doesn't support natively, which I would like to think, especially if we get the touch support, Vive, ones and stuff, that'll be amazing. Just to look down and be in another place completely. That's going to be fantastic. Even if it doesn't get that, I'm sure that like Ralph at Vorpex will hack it to work with Vorpex. So
Yeah.
there's always Vorpex. Yeah, man.
Yeah,
So
that one looks really cool. No, I'm glad you shared that one with me. I didn't get to see that one yet. I'm looking forward to that as well as just pretty much any kind of a combat style game. I mean, you got to play the Half-Life version where you got to use both hands to sit there and load your gun and shoot the gun and move it around, right?
that's something else.
Yeah,
Yeah, Half-Life
exactly.
VR is
Come on.
something else. 100%. Like that's one of the most immersive experiences that I've ever been in, to be honest. But
Yeah, I mean-
when I first started off, it was quite a lot of stress being in there, especially if you're new to virtual reality, because it is quite fast paced, and there's enemies everywhere, and if you're running around in VR but you're sitting still in a chair, it's a little bit sketchy to start off with, and that one did make me feel a little bit weird when I first was new to VR. I mean, now
Yeah.
it is just a case of do little and often, and then you can now I can sit pretty much in anything.
Right.
And I think it's just something. I think it's probably not the best. It's probably not the best slogan for virtual reality, but the most realistic one would be something like, "The more you do it, the easier it gets." But
So they say it's getting your VR legs underneath you, and I agree. It took me quite a while, and even so, I get queasy pretty easily. So it's not something that I can always do with every single game. When we played Guns of Icarus, I had a little bit of loss of head tracking, and that right there, I was done. After that game,
Yeah,
I was done.
yeah.
And it was just like, okay, we'll wait till the next day, or either if you got some pills to take with headache medicine, go ahead, but it doesn't always work.
Ginger biscuits. Ginger biscuits are pretty good. I don't know if do you get them. Do you get ginger biscuits and that?
We've got those at the international store.
Yeah, no shit.
We've got those.
Oh man, and there's these band things as well. They're travel bands. They're sort of like little wristbands. You've got one on each hand, and they've got like a little dot pressure point thing.
Oh yeah.
I wore them for a start. It might have been like placebo, but I felt like it helped.
Well, say one or the other if it works or not. I mean, if it feels like it, hey. I guess the Morpheus. I just wanted to touch on the Morpheus real quick. Have you heard much about the Morpheus as opposed to?
No.
Yeah.
It's the one that, I'd say I know a little bit more about the Morpheus than I do the Fove.
Which we do have pretty neat VR. Did a pre-order the Fove, so we will have a guy in the group that's got one of those pretty soon. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah, and that's going to be pretty crazy. I'd like to hear a lot more about it, to be honest. Um, right, okay, so just trying to get a little bit of. To be honest, I'm struggling with this window that I've got going on. It's going to be a lot worse quality than your high production values, but this is like my first attempt at making anything like this. But it's really good to catch up and actually, a lot of the time I'm just like an avatar on the screen doing stuff, playing around with you. So it's
Yeah,
good to see you, man.
absolutely, dude. I agree. Oh, and there goes my video. Oh, see, as you're talking about the stuff, my video just disappeared. At least not for you.
So yeah, with regards to the Morpheus, I think it's going to be lower resolution. From what I understand, it's got higher hertz. So instead of 90, it's going to be rocking out 120 hertz, but the resolution is going to be lower. I think it's going to be two 1080p displays rather than the what the Oculus has got. So I don't know, but for me, it's not the headset that's going to be the problem. It's going to be the thing packing the horsepower behind it. The PS4.
Right. Which apparently, with the games they've been showing, they've been able to do what they wanted to. Although they look fun, they do look a little bit cartoony, a little bit 5 years ago. And
that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. As long as
That's one thing I've heard a lot of people say about the VR games that are already out there is that they look like they're dated and they're aged. And well, clearly they want everybody to have the 60 frames per second in the current units and 75, and obviously the current DK2. And you've got to be able to have simple games for everyone to be able to do that. But even games like Arc, that one has. I know a lot of people have trouble running Arc on a normal console, on a normal system at a good frame rate. And I sat there and ran that thing at who knows how many frames per second, but enough to make me not feel sick and be able to play it for darn near an hour, and I had a good time. So
definitely,
even new games like that are still workable and usable. Maybe not preferable to the everyday user, but good enough for the people with the VR legs, as we already spoke about. So
yeah, definitely, it's going to be tough for them. It's going to be tough for them, and I don't know. I think that I come from a console background. I don't have any hate on consoles or anything like that. I think they're great to get the game into the masses, but for virtual reality, right here, right now, maybe next generation consoles further down the line, you might be able to get a better sort of level. But I just feel that the hardware behind the headset is just not going to be sufficient.
Yeah. No, I hear you, man. I wouldn't necessarily want to put all my money into that. I mean, if I was an avid Sony user and all I had was the PlayStation, I didn't mess with PC, I would definitely get one. But
yeah,
that would be the only case. That would be the only case in that situation.
And last generation, I was a really big PS3 gamer, and anything to do with more immersive technology, like they had these controllers called the PlayStation Move. So they were like little wands, and you could play tennis and all kinds of shit. And then the 3D patch came out for the PlayStation, which was great, but purely, again, this sort of technology is very undersupported. There was a handful of titles. Killzone 3 notably was fantastic. I had like a shock, sort of like a rifle attachment that they slotted into, when like 3D. It worked on my 3D TV, and it was great, man. But that's literally only one of the games that work with it. So if you're gonna sell set technology, fucking support it. Do you know what I mean? Support it with the games to play on it. So
absolutely. And I mean, the one thing I gotta say too is that with the Oculus, I do see them being, kind of the frontier of the VR. I see them having the support of not only large companies like Facebook and as well as many other private investors that we don't always know about. I know Samsung is one of their investors as well. They help them with the OLED technology and many other future technologies that they've been hinting along, especially during the last E3. They've got the Gear VR, which is the mobile headset, and I mean, we both know that mobile is the way to go, and that's the way that they're leaning towards. So eventually, we're all going to be putting on these headsets that have no wires, that have, maybe tracking somewhere built into your house or your location. But actually, I would assume, and here's me just going back to my thoughts here, the tracking is going to be more so built into the headset itself. That way, you can sit there and walk around, kind of like the HTC has those sensors on it. You get close to a wall, it knows. You don't have to have something else that tells you that.
Yeah, that's going to be so cool.
So I kind of want to back. I'm kind of pushing more towards Oculus. At the same time, it's going to be really hard not to want to spend the money if you have it when the HTC is coming out first. So I'm going to really hope that I have the ability to somehow do both, but I'd like to I'd like to see more people's responses, and hopefully we can get a conversation about this started. So that we can
Yeah, definitely. If you want to see some more of these kinds of videos, if you enjoyed just our conversation here and just the video in general, if you want to see some more of it, let us know. We can always come up with some more topics. If you've got some ideas for future videos, let us know in the comments. And of course, if you do like the video, make sure to go over to the other channel, Reality Check VR. Bang a like on it as well.
Yep. And Immersive Gamer 83 right here. Thanks for sticking around and taking a look at this with us. Immersive, I appreciate you having the conversation with me. I can't wait to see what other people say so we can finally get an actual decision. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, nice one, man. Well, I'll catch you on the next one. Yeah, speak to you soon, mate.
Absolutely.
Take care.
Bye, guy.
Bye-bye. Take care, guys. Bye-bye. I think that went well.